Probably one of the biggest ways that God is able to use our family there is just in opening up opportunities to build relationships with our neighbors. In Thailand, we live in a country where tourism is the second leading source of income. And the number one tourist traveling to Thailand is a man traveling by himself. And so as a result, Thailand has kind of developed this reputation for being a place of relaxation or recreation for businessmen kind of coming through, or tourists, whatever that might be. So one of the things that Thai people don't often see is foreign families, with young kids there. They'll often see foreigners with Thai women because they're married to them or have their girlfriend or whatever that might be. But they often don't see foreign families there, especially families with young kids. And so how we have seen God use our family is just with our kids. We will just go out walking out with our kids in our area, and that, because Thai people love kids and they love to see small white children, so they'll kind of flock to you and want to touch and pinch your kids and that kind of stuff. But it really opens up opportunities for us to get to know our neighbors that way. So God has really used that in a number of ways. I can think of one specific situation with our house helper last term. And she was a lady who was divorced from her husband, has 2 grown children. But on one day she was talking to Bonnie, and she said, Bonnie, Kun Bonnie, you know what? I'm so impressed with Derek. He's such a godly man. And she kind of looked at her and thought, oh, well, what makes you think to say that? And she said, well, because when he goes to the store, the market, he'll take Gemma with him, our daughter, when she was only 2 years old. And she thought that was kind of interesting. Why would you say that? She said, well, because a Thai man would never do that. Because when they go to the market, they want to appear that they're single. And so she said to Bonnie that just by virtue of me doing that, communicated to her how God used that, the importance of a family together, and me just by simply taking my child to the market. And it wasn't anything I had said or taught, it was just how we had lived our life there. And what was interesting to her is that she said, kind of with tears in her eyes, how I wish someone had told me about Jesus a long time ago, because how my life would be so different had I known Christ earlier. I would have married a different person. I would have raised my kids differently. And so God has kind of used our family in that sense to kind of communicate to her on how, I guess, her life could have been different. And I guess, it might be a regret to her, but yet God used it in a positive way to minister to her. And even with some of our other helpers that have come into our household, how they have changed their idea of parenting just because they've watched us. Because Thai parents are often, they don't impose discipline a lot with their kids. When they get to 3 years of age, they kind of expect the teacher to do that in the local school. And God has used the way that we have raised our kids there to change the way the Thai people that have had contact with us, how they will now in turn raise their children differently because of that. So yeah, God has really used our kids in a powerful way to be a testimony, not only in building relationships with our non-Christian, our Buddhist neighbors, but also even with the Christians that have kind of come into our household too.